Okay, so as we just saw with the GeoGebra applet, the volume of a solid, of any solid out there, that loaf of bread, that silver fish, whatever we want to do, from A to B is the integral of A to B. Okay, all we got to do is integrate or add up. Hi.
Are we doing waffles? Right on. You guys, this is probably...
So guys, let's say this one more time. What the heck are we doing? We're going to find the area of one cross section because they're going to tell you what this shape is. For example, this next one, it says, hey, each cross section is a square. So I'm going to help us visualize that. If you find the area of one square, but if you do that from A to B, from my endpoints, that means I'm actually finding the area of each square infinitely many squares from A to B. And when you add up, say all those pieces of paper stacked together, it will get us that volume. So let's go visualize this on this guy. What the heck? We've got to say that squares are laying flat on this surface. And an example of that is what I had going around. So if I had to draw a square laying flat, it says it's perpendicular to the x-axis. So you guys, the first line that we're going to make is a line perpendicular to the x-axis. That could be anywhere, you guys. You don't have to put it where I put it because I'm actually going to draw a couple squares. Then I need the square popping out at me. So I'm going to be like, boom. That square is coming out at me. Ugh. So that's what I'm trying to demonstrate. Now, might it help you guys if you draw a couple more squares? Perpendicular to the x-axis, more squares, more squares, more squares. It might help you. You might be like, dude, I am not understanding this. If you are feeling that way, that is normal because this is a lot going on. But I'm trying to draw all these squares popping out at me. So I'm hoping that those squares are popping out something like this. Obviously, our base shape is different. But it says region R is the base of the solid. For the solid, each cross-section is a square. Then it says write but do not evaluate an expression to give the volume of the solid. You guys, just as we set up here, volume is just adding up the area of one cross-section. We just got to figure out what the area of one cross-section is. So I'm actually going to erase this. Don't feel like you need to. I'm just going to go focus on my red one because I want to help us. How do I find the area of a square? Length times width. And aren't they the same in a square? So is it really length times length or side times side? Okay. So I know I've got to do area of a square, which would just be side times side. From where to where do we think? Where's my left bound? This is my region R. How far left do we think we got to go? 1. I agree. And then we got to go figure out how far right we've got to go. This is the line I'll even specify. We got y equals ln of x versus we got y equals 5 minus x. If you're like, ooh, that looks like 5, but I'm not sure, when does 5 minus x equal 0? Add 5, and we got x is 5. Okay, how are we going to get the length of a side? How am I going to get this length of a side of a square? You know this. Upper minus lower. If I do upper minus lower, upper minus lower, it's going to get me this. Upper in this part is how much? ln of x minus 0. But you guys, I'm silly. Were you guys hesitating because you're like, wait, my upper changes? Like maybe we shouldn't put this all in one because my upper was ln of x and then my upper is 5 minus x. So we will bust this into 2 different ones, but we can leave that for now. So we'll say, all right, from 1 to something, my upper was ln of x, my lower is 0. That's upper minus lower gets me one side. What would the other side be of a square? The same thing. So could I say ln of x times ln of x, or could I just say ln of x squared? That's the area of one square. Yeah. Because they told us this, perpendicular to the x-axis, this right here has to be this variable. Great call, Kate. Because, Kate, if I did rotate that, and I was going to find the volume of something with these cross-sections, don't draw this, guys, wouldn't that thing look way different? Those squares are, like, huge, right? So that would look way different and have a different volume. Great call. Thank you, Kate. Okay, so that's the area of that's the area of the squares where my upper was ln of x. Up until this point. You guys, we got to figure out where that point is. Yeah, when do they intersect? When does ln of x equal 5 minus x? Problems 1 and 2, when it's free response, get calculators. So we're going to go use a calculator. We couldn't do that by hand. So let's go grab our calc and let's go see when does ln of x intersect with 5 minus x. Intersecting 3.693. 3.693, and I don't care. Did you all get that 3.693? Okay, cool. Thanks, Bisky. So that's the area of the volume of this shape up until that point of intersection, because my upper function was ln of x. How am I going to go find the squares over here? 3.693 to 5. You're saying, okay, there to there. Yes, and he's saying to find the area of a cross-section over here is base times height. It's a square, so it'll just be base times base. And this base is upper minus lower, 5 minus x times 5 minus x, or 5 minus x squared. Whoa! This said write but do not evaluate. We don't have to go type that in our calculator. I think they'd give you 3 points for this. 1 point to get your bounds, 1 point for this statement, 1 point for that statement. Together. Here we go. Let's try again. Let's go back to 1988. Whew, I specifically did this because they didn't give us a calculator on this one. Base of a solid is in the region in the first quadrant, enclosed by this parabola. Do I know exactly what that looks like? No, but I know in the first quadrant, a 4x squared is going to look something like this. It does not need to be perfect at all. It's just a parabola. And they only care about, it says it's in the first quadrant. It's bounded by x is 1. I'm going to put x is 1 over here. And the x-axis. It's bounded by these black lines. So do you agree we're talking about this shaded region here is the base of this solid? Each plane, perpendicular to the x-axis, and to Kate's point, them saying this right here, Kate, is telling us, boom, we got to do dx, is a square. Again, these pictures are the hardest part, if you ask me. And you don't need a picture. If you don't need it to help visualize, don't draw it. But it helps me be like, okay, a square, a square, that looks terrible. I'm going to try this again. A square, These squares are popping out at us. And it says, what is the volume? People, we can do this. Even if the visualization is hard, just focus on knowing volume is just adding up the areas of a cross-section. If we've got the cross-section is a square, cross-section is a square, area of a square is just base times height, or length times length, or side times side. How am I going to get the side of one of these squares? It's still upper minus lower. He's like, all right, upper is 4x squared. That's right there. Squared is going to be side times side. So 4x squared is one side, square it's the other side. Do we know what my bounds are yet? Oh, it is 0 to 1. I agree, because it intersects at the origin, and then they said x is 1. So from 0 to 1. Before we integrate that, I would simplify it. What is 4x squared squared? Very good. 16x to the 4th. Because that's just 4x squared times 4x squared. Okay, you guys, let's go. Let's do this. We got this. We got this. Integral of 16x to the 4th would become 16x to the 5 over 5. You got it. From 0 to 1. We're going to plug in a little upper bound minus a lower bound. That lower bound's a joke. Are we just getting 16/5? Yeah. Beautiful. Let's skip 1985. Let's go to 2015. Okay. Whew, here we go. The base of a solid bounded by the x-axis. And this graph, oh yeah, without a calculator, gross. Each cross-section is a square. Okay, what's the volume of the solid? Here's the deal, people. Do we know what this looks like? Do you? This is technically y squared equals 1 minus x squared. Move that x squared over. This is actually a circle. But it's just a circle. Like they said, they only want the part in the Didn't they say first quadrant? Reading x-axis. Oh, in this graph. Okay, so this graph, yeah. Oh, okay. We would have thought a whole circle, right? And again, you don't need to draw this. You guys, I promise, you don't need to draw this. But did they give us the plus or minus part of this? No, so it's actually just a semicircle. But you guys, we wouldn't have known that. And here's what I'm trying to tell you. It doesn't matter. Because what you've got to think, if they want volume of a solid, you know that it's just the area of a cross section. And we got to add them up. And they told you what the cross section is here. The cross section is a square. So technically, do we have squares popping out of this semicircle? Yeah. Here's why we don't need to know that. We know that the area is a square. How am I going to find the length of that square? Is it still upper minus lower? And do we have any other function to have to worry about? You know what I mean? So it's going to be upper minus 0. So I'm just going to say, all right, we got 1 minus x squared. And then what do I need to do to that to get the area of that square? Square it. Okay, do we need this picture to help us with those bounds? No, you can just do this mathematically. We got to go find out what those bounds are. So how could we do that? See where they're equal to? 0. You know what I'm saying? So when does root 1 minus x squared equal 0? We'd have to be doing that with or without a picture anyway. We got to go find those zeros. So we'd square both sides, and we would move that x squared over. What's the square root of x squared? Be careful. I'm sorry, square root of 1. Thank you. Plus or minus 1. So my bounds are -1 to 1. I think that is hard. This is without a calc, but we can do this. Is this kind of convenient that we have a square and square root right there? Yeah, they did that on purpose. From -1 to 1, I haven't done any integral yet. I'm just going to cancel out my square and my square root. Now, what's the integral of 1? X. What's the integral of x squared? Beautiful, Beck. X cubed over 3 from -1 to 1. Ooh, our negatives could be our worst enemy on this part. Our negatives could mess us up because we have to get an actual answer. When I plug in my upper, 1 minus a third. You agree with upper is going to be 1 minus a third? Upper minus lower minus parenthesis. If I were you, I would plug it all in before I simplify it at all. I'd get a -1 minus -1 cubed third. 1 minus 1/3. 3/3 minus 1/3 out here is going to get me a 2/3. This right here would be a -1/3. So minus that negative would get me plus a third. 2/3 minus -3/3 plus 1/3 would be another -2/3. Does anyone agree with 4/3 as a final answer? Yeah. Check out what they did on this one. They just said, what's the setup? They said, what's the setup? The base of a solid in the first quadrant is enclosed by this graph and the axes. So it's like, dude, first quadrant, 2 minus x squared. X squared looks like this. Negative x squared looks like this. Throw that sucker up too. This is what the graph looks like. But again, if you can't visualize it, it's going to be okay. They said they only want the region in the first quadrant. So they only want this area. And it says every cross section, perpendicular to the y-axis. Kate, as soon as we see this, isn't this a dy? So boom, you're out and you're out. I'm so glad you brought that up the other page. So every cross section is a square perpendicular to the y-axis. This might be good practice for us to try to draw this one if the drawings are helping you. I get visualizing this is literally like the biggest part of this battle, if you ask me. I would rotate my paper, so I would rotate it and be like, okay, I got to start visualizing you perpendicular to the y-axis. So I'd say perpendicular to y-axis, shooting out. Perpendicular to the y-axis, shooting out. Perpendicular to the y-axis, I've got all these squares shooting out. That looks a little bonkers. Oh, I feel like that kind of looks good. Okay, so how am I going to find the area? I'm sorry, how am I going to just find the length of my square? Is it still upper minus lower? Yeah, it's still going to just be blue minus this 0 black y-axis. So if I've got to do blue, but with respect to y, how can I get y equals 2 minus x squared in order to have it as x equals so I can plug it in here? How can I start getting x by itself here? Subtract 2, so I got y minus 2 equals negative x squared. Multiply or divide by negative 1, same diff. And then he says, go square root that sucker. Hey, Blake, guess what? Do you agree with square roots? We got to deal with plinus. You agree, plus or minus? But in this picture, since we're only in the first quadrant, do we have any negative y values? We don't, so we don't have to worry about the negative root of that. Cool. So area of this square then would be upper minus lower. Upper is negative, root negative y plus 2. That's a leg of my square. How am I going to get the area of a square? Square it. From, yeah, he's like, well, 0 to whatever that is. Do you agree that would be 2 because we shifted that parabola up 2? Love that. What's the difference between A and B? Oh, hold up. Interesting. I just panicked a little bit, people, because I was like, well, we need a squared. Well, what did they do? The square and the square root actually cancel, so they just simplified it a bit. We don't need no pi. We don't need no pi. Get out of here, pi. This is going to be hard, so let's just do this guy, and I'll save 2. Let's go do example 1. I'm going to save that top part for Monday to get our heads back in the game. Okay, so on this one, with a calculator, we do get a calculator, bless up. Find the volume of an object whose base is bounded by the x-axis. X equals E. Wow. The x-axis is here. X equals E is just x equals 2.718. So 1, 2, 3. So x equals E is just some vertical line. Because it's Vux and E is 2.718. ln of x. Does anyone remember what ln of x looks like? And it actually goes through 1. So it goes through the point 1, 0. Again, don't lose sleep on what these look like, especially on this one. We get a calculator. So if I were to graph ln of x, there's my ln of x graph. X equals E is just a vertical line. Okay. Oh, and I'm saying that we've got now rectangular cross sections. What the what? We're going to draw it by hand. It says, as soon as we see this, Kate Burke says, boom, if it's perpendicular to the x-axis, we got to say that. Boom. Rectangular cross sections are 4 times as tall as the given base at any x. Wow. You guys, let's just try to visualize it. If it's perpendicular to the x-axis, I'm going to have a base there. And then this rectangle is really tall, it says. So I've got these rectangles popping out. Pop off. You know what I'm saying, people? Rectangles are flying out of this thing. This is really hard to visualize. That was a terrible picture, if you ask me. I just draw you a terrible visual. Rectangles. 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 Ugh. It's hard to visualize. I'm going to just focus on one then because my picture is that bad. Okay, we can do this, people. The rectangle, how am I going to figure out what the base of this rectangle is? Upper minus lower. Isn't my upper just ln of x? Okay, so my base is just ln of x. That's my base. How do I find the area of a rectangle? Base times height. And so we got to multiply that by the height, and it says they're 4 times as tall as the base. Isn't it just going to be 4 ln of x? We got to know from where to where. What are my bounds going to be? Yeah, and if you're like, dude, I wouldn't have known that went through 1, 0. We've got a calculator. You could have done second trace 0 and gone and found where that 0 is, and we're going to get 1 there. So that's how I know my lower bound is 1. What's my upper bound going to be? 2.718 or just E? Let's go type this into our calculator and be done. I think I got it. Did anyone else get 2.873? Beautiful. You did it.